Holi is this Friday, so it's a good time to break down the significance of Holi, the stories behind it, why we celebrate the festivals, and why is it falling on this Friday. Okay, so the first thing to understand is that Holi is a 2 day festival, right? Holi is a 2 day festival. You have Holika Dahan at night, right? Where they will burn like a straw effigy or like a bonfire, and then you have Rang Wali Holi, okay? That's the in the morning the next day, right? Where they play with colors and stuff. So what is the significance of this? So first thing first, what is Holi? Holi is named after Holika. Who is Holika? Holika is the sister of Hiranyakashipu, okay? And who is Hiranyakashipu? He is like a demon who was given like the gift, the boon of immortality, right? So because he couldn't be killed inside or outside during the day, during the night, the ego got to his head and he started telling his people, he was also a king, right? So he started telling his people to worship him instead of God, right? Because of the ego-ness of like you're immortal, now you start thinking you're God, right? So he starts telling his people to worship him, but his own son, uh Prahlad, okay? Prahlad decides that he will not worship his father and keep worshiping Vishnu, right? So that angries his father, like he tries to kill him multiple times, pushing him down a mountain, down a well, in the snake pit. It doesn't work, right? But Holika, his sister, has a boon that she cannot be burned in fire, right? She is immune to fire. So she tricks Prahlad into sitting on her lap into a fire, into a bonfire. But the celebration, the story goes that Holika burns in the fire and Prahlad is untouched, right? But what is the significance behind the story? Okay, the significance behind it is that Holi we celebrate it to it is a celebration of good over evil, right? But deeper meaning of that is Prahlad is the representation of our soul, right? Of our Atman, that which is immortal, indestructible, unburnable, right? It is like untouchable, unperishable. And everything else is the significance is that we need to burn our karma. We have to burn our ego, our impurities in the fire of devotion, in the fire of knowledge, of correct knowledge, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, so that all these, our karma, our impurities are burned, so that we realize that we're the Atman, we are that which is immortal. So that that part of us that is immortal and forever connected to God reveals itself, right? So that's the significance, the spiritual significance behind the story. Okay. Now, Holi happens on Purnima. Okay. If you watch my Mahashivratri video, you'll know what Purnima means and what is Amavasya, right? You have Amavasya, which is the no moon, new moon, and then Purnima is the full moon. Purna means full and Ima means night, right? So on the full night, the moon is full, right? So Mahashivratri is celebrated on Amavasya, the day before Amavasya, right? Why? Because of the gravitational effect of the moon on the water, right? Because when the moon is close, it has an effect on the tides, right? And because of that gravitational pull, because we're made of 70% water, that gravitational pull has an effect on our bodies as well, right? So when the moon is full, it will have an effect of elevating our energies, right? Elevating um, the agitation of the mind. And on no moon days, it has the opposite effect of calming the mind, of having the least agitation. That's why Mahashivratri is celebrated on the day before Amavasya, because the mind is least agitated and it is best for internal reflection, for calmness, introspection, and meditation, so that we absorb spiritual knowledge. And on the opposite, Purnima is when the energy is the most vibrant in the body, the body and the mind is the most excited, right? So it is a great time for celebration, for burning of things, right? Of our ego, of our karma, because there's energy for movement, for action, right? So that's why Holi is celebrated on Purnima, because the color play is like a lot of energy, a lot of fun, right? So you want when the body is the most ripe for that, when the mind is the most ripe for that. And in the same way, when you're burning bonfires and it's a representation of burning of impurities, you want it when there's energy, there's aliveness, right? So that's a little segue to understand why we celebrate Holi on Purnima, and Purnima is Friday. That's why Holi falls on Friday this year, right? Um, in that time period. So now let's go to the second story. Why do we now you understand Holika Dahan, right? Why we burn the effigies, the stories behind it, and the representation. So now we're gonna go to Rangwali Holi. Why do we do the color plays, right? The color plays are a story between Krishna and Radha, okay? So the story goes that Krishna was self-conscious about his complexion, right? He was darker, and Radha had a fairer complexion, a lighter complexion. So the suggestion was that, he will apply color to Radha, to the other devotees in the area, so that um, it is a representation that we have to overcome the shallow differences between us, right? There is a shallow difference between maybe somebody's has a is a male, somebody's a female, somebody's tall, somebody's short, somebody is darker, somebody is lighter. These are like lighter, shallow differences between us. And then, so the representation of the color play is to overcome these these shallow representation, these shallow differences between us, and celebrate unity, celebrate love, celebrate that which connects us on a deeper way, that gratitude, right? And it is also a celebration of like socially bonding and removing the past mistakes and forgiveness, right? So this is what we do on Rangwali Holi, is the color play day, right? And this is the significance behind Holi. So I hope now you understand that the 2 days of celebration of Holi have meanings, and they are related to two different stories. I also have a newsletter coming out. If you want deeper explorations of the core teachings of Hinduism, sign up for my newsletter. Namaste. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.